All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to be looking at lesson 4-9 in our everyday math booklets. So today's lesson is partial products multiplication, but this time we're going to talk about two digits by two-digit multiplication. So we've already done this lesson before. It was 4-6. We talked about partial product multiplication with partitioning rectangles, but we did it with a one-digit by multi-digits. This one is a two-digit by two-digit number. Very similar lessons. Like I said, to 4-6, you're going to be partitioning those rectangles, finding partial products multiplication, but you'll be using two-digit by two digits. So let's do a quick review. So when we partition rectangles for two-digit by two digits, we're going to break both numbers into their expanded form. So if I had number 15, I would break it into 10 and 5. Okay, so I would actually break it up into the tens place and the ones place. Okay, then we are going to draw 4 boxes instead of 2, 4 boxes, and then begin solving the partial products. Okay, and I'll kind of show you how to do this when we actually work on the worksheet. Then, when we're finding partial products multiplication with two-digit by two-digit, we're going to start in the tens place and move over to the ones place. And I'll kind of show you how this is going to work step by step by step when we actually start working on our worksheet, okay, which is right now. So on this page right here, this should be your page 130 in your workbook. We're going to do numbers 1 and numbers 2 together. Number 1 will be pretty easy because it is technically a two-digit by two-digit, but we've already started off with an easy factor. Factor for our product. Sorry. So we started off with an easy factor here. This one will have to break up those numbers. So let's get started. So if I am working on 20 times 34, I'm actually going to be drawing my box. So 20 by 34. I'm actually going to break this into, in this case, I really only want to break it into 2. And I'm going to show you why here in a second. So I have 20 and 34. 20, that one's pretty easy because that's just an expanded multiplication fact. So I don't have to worry about that. However, 34 does need to get broken up. So I'm going to do 30 and 4. So I'm breaking those into their expanded forms. Okay, so now I have 20 times 30. Well, 2 times 3 is 6. Add my 2 zeros, that's 600. 20 times 4, 2 times 4 is 8. Add your 0. Now I'm going to take my 2 partial products. 600 plus 80 equals 680. There's your answer. That one is very simple, okay, because of this guy right here. All right. Now, when we come over here and do the partitioned rectangles for 17 and 34, I'm going to show you how it's a little bit more challenging, and you got to know the steps. Okay. So before we move on to number 2, we're going to finish off with partial products multiplication. So I'm going to take 34 and I'm going to multiply this by 20. Okay. Let me just double check one quick second with my page, just to make sure that I'm going to do this right. Okay, yes. All right, so what I was talking about before, when you find partial product multiplication with two-digit by two-digit, you always start with the tens place. So you're going to start with the bottom number, okay? And in this case, in the tens place, there's a 2, but that's really 20 because it's in the tens place. So 20 times 30, very similar to what we just did here. We know that 20 times 30 is 600. Now, I'm going to go over 20 times 4 because this is in the ones place. 20 times 4, which equals 80. Add those together, I'll get my 680. Okay. The key with this is knowing to start here in your tens place at the bottom and go straight up to this tens place. So it's tens place times tens place. Okay, so 20 times 30 equals 600. And then you take tens place, go over to ones place. Okay, that's really going to help you to answer this problem. Now, again, this problem was kind of easy because I don't have to do anything with this 0 in the ones place down here. If I had a number in there, I would have to do 2 more steps from here to here to here to here. Okay? All right, so let's look at 17 times 34. Again, I'm going to draw my boxes, but in this case, I don't have a really even good number, so I'm going to draw a present, okay, or a window is what some people call it. Over here, I have 17. Over here, I have 34. Okay, so 17, I'm going to break that up into 10 and 7. 34, I'm going to break that into the expanded form, 30 and 4. I don't care about the 17 anymore at this point. I don't care about the 34 at this point. I'm really looking at 30, 10, 4, and 7. I'm looking at these 4 numbers on the top and right. I don't care about 17 and 34. So now 30 times 10, 3 times 1 is 3. Add my 2 zeros, 300, because I wish you could see my fingers. So from here down, okay, and here across, all right? So they line up with this spot. Let me make my eraser really quickly, fix that. Okay, so 300. Now 4 times 10 goes in this box right here. This is 40. And notice when we actually do this, 30 and 4 never multiply together. It's always 30 with 10, 30 with 7. 4 times 10, 4 times 7. I never multiply 10 and 7 together in this case. I do 10 times 30, 10 times 4, 7 times 30, 7 times 4. Okay? Because these are part of the same number. I don't want to multiply those together. All the opposite numbers. Okay? So now 30 times 7. 3 times 7 is 21. Add my 0. 4 times 7, that's 28. Now, I take all 4 of these numbers in my boxes, my partial products, and I add those together. 300, and I like to order them based on their place value. Okay, so I have 8, I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. 578. Okay, 578 is my answer for here. That's how you do the partition rectangles. I draw 4 boxes, okay, or a window or a present, and then I start multiplying after I've expanded my 2 numbers, that number and that number. Okay, now partition product multiplication. So with this, I'm actually going to move my camera over here so I can have more room to work. So partition product multiplication, I'm going to take 34 times 17. Now, realistically, I'm going to have 4 factors, partitioned partial products. Sorry, I had a moment there. Partial products that I have to add together at the end. But we have to start with the tens place. So in this case, the tens place, there's 1, which is really 10, if I were to break it apart, and then 3, which is really 30. So it's 10 times 30, which we already said was 300. So I went up, now I got to go across. So 10 times 4 is 40. Now I'm done with this 1 in the tens place. I'm finished with him. But now I got to go over to the 7. So 7 in the ones place is 7. 3 in the tens place is 30. So 7 times 30, that's 210. So I went across, and then 7 times 4 is 28. If I add these together, I should get my 578. This is how you do partition or partial products multiplication with a 2-digit by 2-digit. You start with the tens place and you go up to the tens place. So 10 times 30, then you go tens place to ones place, 10 times 4. Then you move over down here at the bottom to the ones place, 7 times whatever's in the tens place, 30, and then 7 times 4, I put down here. Then I add them up, and I have my answer. That's how you figure out a 2-digit by 2-digit partial products multiplication. Again, very similar to how we did it with a 1-digit by 2-digit, 1-digit by 3-digit, and so on and so forth. However, you got to remember the steps in order to multiply to make it easy for you, okay? All right, so you were going to work on page 131 now with those examples, partial products, and then you are going to be working on math boxes. If you have any more questions, let us know. We can try to help you as best as possible. Good luck.